You now tuned into the hottest podcast in the world, the Stay Woke Podcast, right here on the SonicBreakdown.com.
Welcome back to another Stay Woke Podcast. This is D-Ray Brinson, and you know the Stay Woke Podcast is presented by the SonicBreakdown.com. If you haven't checked out a review, looked at the website, man, you're slipping. So check it out, the SonicBreakdown.com. I'm excited today. We got some special guests in the building. We got some two brothers from Ohio. We get to know them a little bit more. They're gonna let us know what they bring into the music game. For this section, the section I call Let's Talk About It, we're gonna talk with the Sons of Silverton.
Peace. What's up, y'all? What's up, party people? Yo, my name is Kyle David.
Word up. My name is Katuk.
We're the Sons of Silverton. We in the house, rocking here in the podcast. You know, we just came to enjoy the beautiful Northern California weather. Beautiful scenery.
So if for those of you out there that don't know, they're from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yes, sir.
513. 513. See, I didn't know that. I just actually I should know by your text. There we go. So yeah, I should. but so you're from Ohio. Let's just get to know you a little bit deeper. Did you guys just start this group together recently, or is it something that you know been working on for a while?
Actually, just kind of this whole process has been rather organic.
Best things come out of things that are organic.
Yeah, we like Cincinnati, man. As far as the hip hop community is concerned, it's pretty close knit, and we've all known each other in one shape, form, or fashion for years. And just in conversation one day, man, we was like, "How come we ain't never done that together?"
Right.
Like we from the same neighborhood.
Okay.
Like literally.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Type
Gotcha.
thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And so like, why have we ever done nothing together? And so we ended up, my man Swab put us in contact with Prospect, and we were just going to do he gave me a beat. I was like, here, rock to this. And it's actually in the project. It's Great Escape. I was like, we'll do one and see what happened. That was the first joint we did with P for us Sons of Silverton officially. And we just took off from there.
But prior to that, we had been recording. We had made some,
yeah.
like with this producer,
Platypus.
Named Platypus.
Word. He's out here in Cali now.
Okay.
Yeah,
And that's an interesting name, I'm gonna have to say.
He's
dope.
He was like
What's up,
sending beats.
Yes.
And so we were making joints off of those. And then,
Shout out to Platypus.
no doubt. And then it was we used some other influences, some other records, and so we had created some music together anyway.
Yeah, before
So you already had a vibe
we
and a
already
chemistry.
dived into it. Word. And we had done, and he had rocked on my on a joint on my project before. So it was
Right,
like we've
for a
rocked
solo
together
project,
before, but like officially it's Sons of Silverton. Yeah.
I hate to make comparisons, but it sounds like the Run the Jewels with Killer Mike and LP, how they've been doing their own thing for a minute, and then they did a couple of projects, and then they like, you know what?
Let's do this.
Let's do this. Like we have a good chemistry together, and it comes out nice on the track.
And I think the older you get, and the older that the genre becomes, and the older the artists are, you will start to see that, because at some point you want to do other things creatively, you know, and you want to kind of, you know, get out of your own circle, get out of your own shell, what you do typically. So, I mean, it happens. Fortunately, you know, we still have a love for hip hop and for rhyming. So it was inevitable, you know what I mean? Like we got kindred spirits, you know, he's got daughters, I got a daughter, you know, it's just like, we just get along anyway. So it's like, why not? Let's make some music. You know what I'm saying?
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That does lead me to one of my leading questions was, I always like to ask anybody that's in the music industry or that does music is what was the thing that got you into it? What was it? Was it a song you heard? Was it a track you heard? Production? You know, somebody freestyle? Like, what was it that sparked, if you can think about it, that sparked your passion for it?
I mean, personally for me, my introduction to hip hop was, you know, I was maybe like 9 years old, and I was at camp. And one of the counselors came in and had a tape, and it had like UTFO on it. It had like, you know, Rappin' Dude, had Africa Bambaataa, had, you know, Trans Europe Express, just everything was
so
on there,
nice
like
mix.
Kraftwerk. Yeah. But it was, I was just blown
Which
away.
is what hip hop was then.
Right. I was just
It wasn't
like,
one lane. It was
immediately
everybody was
floored,
contributing
like-
freely. So yeah.
Exactly. And so after that, it was over with. I mean, professionally, I was in, you know, a crew called 5Ds, and we had all been making music together since we were basically teenagers, about 11, 12 years old when we started. And after that, you know, we just continued. I mean, why not? We were all in. So that's kind of why we just stayed committed to the process, because it's like we love doing it. We'd already invested all the time in the studio and the money, things like that. any experiences not getting paid. So it's like
At
Say
this
word.
point, there's no going back. There's no,
Right,
there's
we
no
done jumped
keep
now.
it moving. Right.
We just got to try and grab hold of something on the way.
I feel that.
Like me personally, it's probably several different things, but I guess when it first started off for me, I was doing everything. I was trying to break. I was trying to DJ. I was trying to learn how to do tag and graffiti. You know what I'm saying? Rhyming kind of just happened because I really get, like, I was writing short stories and poems and stuff. And actually, sixth grade, my teacher, she had us do a project, and I turned my little short story in. She was like, I'm gonna put you in this young Arthur Society. And I'm like, nah, man, I don't want to do nothing like that. And she's like, well, they get to leave school like once a week and go do this meeting and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll do that.
Right.
I get to leave school?
It's some perks.
I'm with
That's
that.
what's up.
But it turned out like it really made me, invest in writing. And from there, just, hip hop was already a part of what I was doing, a part of living. And so it just grew from there. But yeah, as far as a direct influence, probably one of my older cousins, man, gave me some music. And I just remember sitting there listening to it over and over and over. Because it wasn't readily available like it is now.
Exactly.
And that harkens back to my experience is my cousin or fake cousin, Steve, giving me Onyx tape, the purple tape.
Right.
And me just sitting there and like you said, it's just like I couldn't just grab it.
Right.
So I'm taking whatever I can get.
There was no streaming service.
Yeah, there's no streaming service. You had to be with the parent advisory. Like I couldn't just go to the store and say, "Yeah, let me get that record.
Right.
Let me get that record."
And you know what's
right
crazy? It all happened so quickly too, man. Because there was an era where going to the record store to go get whatever was coming out on Tuesday was what it was.
Exactly.
Like,
Yep. That was
you
the
didn't
day.
miss Tuesday.
Nope. Never
And
miss
like,
Tuesdays.
That doesn't exist anymore, man. And
You
so
didn't
it's
miss the
crazy.
drop. You didn't miss like that radio show that played hip hop.
Yeah.
Like you was like, what you doing Thursday? What you think I'm doing Thursday?
Exactly. You already know. There's no question.
I'm listening to the radio.
Yeah,
Friday
it's
night.
either are you coming where I'm going to be listening
Right.
to it,
Or we
or
gonna
I'm
meet
going
up. We're gonna meet up afterwards so we
Whatever.
can discuss what we just got.
Exactly.
crazy.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
that's just an interesting idea how like you guys are on that kind of same wavelength in different aspects, and it brought you guys together because that's one of the great things about music is the ability to bring people together of like-minded or not like-minded,
Or otherwise, yeah.
exactly,
Absolutely.
and bring them together. Going through your transit or your maturation through hip hop individually, I'm sure you guys talked about it. How did it compare and contrast until you guys got to the point you are now together as the Sons of Silverton?
It was definitely a different road because I was a solo artist for a while. And so, like, I was, dibbing and dabbling with different cats. But the majority of my writing was solo. And so there's a tribe, my squad back home, Watusi tribe, that's my foundation. Like, when we first linked up, it was through my second love, which is basketball. We were at the court. My man X was sitting in his brother Swing's Jeep listening to a Red Alert mixtape.
Oh, okay.
A mixtape that I had. So off rip, as I'm getting out the car, I heard him was like, who do you know about Red Alert? This cat's in Cincinnati wasn't getting down with him like that. And so I asked him that exact question, like, what you know about Red Alert? And he's like, what you know about Red Alert? And we've been linked ever since.
Oh, wow.
So that was my first real experience with really being in a squad and a group and having to format your verses, like, based on other people's ideas and opinions and just the 16 versus, writing the whole song and all that. So that changes the dynamic.
That changes a lot. And that's why a lot of groups fail because they can't get that dynamic. They can't balance that, that juxtaposition between wanting to be out there and understanding if we shine, I shine.
Yeah, if I shine and you shine, we
all
shine that
shine
much more.
together.
Exactly.
That's the whole point.
That's a hard concept for some people to get, as we've seen with, groups breaking up.
Yeah, I think our ability to work together so well comes from the fact that both of us have a strong foundation and being in the squad.
Oh yeah.
And knowing, you got to play your part.
Well, I mean, because, for us, it started as, that friendship and that kindred spirit of loving hip hop, because, I mean, we talking about late 80s, early 90s, which at that time it was still very much a small segment of what music was, you know? And it was going through a renaissance. So there was a lot of dynamics, as far as just revolutionary aspect, learning more about, historically black colleges, conscious. And so when a lot of maturation was happening right then. So you form these bonds, and that's kind of where 5D started. With our crew, it was so many of us at once, and then people obviously,
same thing with
you graduate and do different things and have different aspirations.
Right.
And, but you filter down to the ones who, in terms of like, we're focused, not necessarily all of us were focused on music, but the ones who still love the music and want to pursue it. So, and that's kind of how that led to the business end of it, so it was, like you mentioned, it was organic. I mean, it's an organic process, I think, especially, and his crew, man.
It was at our peak. It was 13 MCs.
Boy, it's crazy.
Yeah, the stage.
Wu-Tang numbers.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, dang.
It was like kids on the stage with kids would come out on stage with placards like what the next song is, and cats running around with our flag with the logo on it. It was crazy.
Putting numbers on the board.
That's
damn. 13 though.
That's hard to manage. That many people. That's work right there.
But what was so dope about it was you had to write your best stuff because you're not gonna get on every song.
You're doing like one bar.
If we putting out 12 joints, if we putting out an album with 12 pieces on it,
crazy.
You might get on 3 or 4 of those.
They gotta be hits.
So you gotta do it.
They gotta be fired.
You gotta shine.
Because if not, it's a wrap. You're gonna get overlooked on that whole song.
You gotta hope that
and then you get overlooked on the whole album at that point.
Well, you gotta hope that those couple of songs you on are one of the ones that people choose to gravitate towards. Like I love 7 and 8. Like, dag, I'm on 6 and 5. You know what I'm saying?
Dang. That resonate with you?
We had like 6 legitimate crew members. You know what I'm saying? Like that actually contributed instead of we.
I ain't even counting the others that also the supporting staff. I was literally,
those were the days, man.
Counting DJ was 13 cats.
Yeah, so that's because that was another question that I did have is how do you guys determine your points and your spots on the tracks? Because I know that's a difficult aspect working with other people versus when you got the whole 16 yourself. Right. You can decide.
I think the only thing that ever comes into play is who's gonna set it off. Like which verse, seriously, like which verse sounds like a finisher and which verse sounds like a starter.
Right.
Like other than that, it's pretty much.
And it's much easier
get
working
a topic and just rock.
With just 2,
two's way easier.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. After 13, going down to 2, it's like, oh, this ain't nothing.
This is nothing, right? Like, So I mean, really, a lot of it is just trying to style and like write lyrics in certain places where normally you wouldn't put those bars. So and just, bringing it up
to
that
maximize.
way. Yeah. So that's what we're trying to do.
In your writing process, how do you guys get in the zone? Because I know I've asked this to another guest that I have is because I think the approach to the music is important as well. Just not the product that we get, the process and how you get there. I know some people need to be in the club. They got to feel that energy. And other people they're like, no,
be in the library.
Let me be in the library. Let me be in my crib. Let me just give me the beat. And let me be in my zone, and I get it. Like, what is your processes, and is it different?
I think ours vary a little bit, but we have similarities too.
No, I mean, as far as me, my process, I tend to write a lot of times, like whenever I feel like genuinely inspired. You know what I'm saying? Usually, when we go into the studio, like I'll have rhymes that I've written at whatever given time and moment in time it was. You know what I mean? So. But then they're not really appropriate for the track that we're trying to, do. Right. So we have to find that spark. But a lot of it, that is the foundation for the music that we want to make. So, because it creates another energy, because we've been practicing, so to speak, if that makes any sense.
Right. And like on mine, it goes from definitely in the studio, you get the beat and you pick a direction you want to go, like subject wise or whatever, and you take off from there. But like you were saying, having rhymes written before you get there, because anything can spark it. It could be a conversation you're having with somebody, you're on TV,
somebody piss you off,
some music you're listening to,
somebody makes you happy.
Yeah, anything. It's it could be emotionally or mentally driven. So
I don't know. It's kind of like, it's kind of like a reminder that it's time for you to write rhymes. Like it's cathartic. It's a way to get a lot of stuff out. It's stress relief. It's therapeutic. You know what I mean? And, so when you write them, a lot of times I notice I might be going through maybe a stressful period in my life, or I might be going through overwhelming period. And then I won't have the time to write it because it's good things are going on, but I won't have the time to sit down and write. Mm-hmm. So I have to like carve that time out of my day and be like, yo, I'm in the bathroom. I got like 10 minutes. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Let me, wherever I can get this time in to do it.
Right. It's just, to me, it's dope about being creative. You know?
Yeah. The thing that I like when I talk to artists like that is to understand that process because everybody's not creative. If everybody was, well, let me rephrase that. I think everybody is creative, but not to the not to the same extent that we classify or we normally think about creativity.
Yeah. Right. How we quantify creativity.
Exactly.
Right. I agree. Yeah.
So those people that don't have it in that same form, it's interesting to me I don't consider myself a creative person in that aspect, but hearing the creative process is intriguing and interesting how you guys get to that point. How big of an influence is your family into your rhymes versus not? Because I know there are artists that like to keep that very separate. They like to keep you at an arm's length away. Like we'll personalize it enough so you somewhat get a feel of where I'm coming from, more in a generalized fashion.
Right.
But I don't want you all in my business. I don't want you knowing what's going on. And how do you guys balance that? Or is that even something that you consciously think about balancing?
I know with me, there are, points you get to where like, say I'm writing a song about a relationship. I try and use summaries of relationships I've been through and paint it as one story versus, all right, me and my girl, this is what's happening right now. Like yesterday, she said, like, I'm not going, that's not necessary for me. You know what I mean? But yeah, my kids are an influence, you know what I mean, strongly. Even if it's not necessarily subject wise, they're always playing in the back of my head.
I mean, I might talk about my family. It depends on,
situation.
It depends on the situational. So,
subject, situation, feelings, the whole nine.
Yeah. Cause I did a joint, pretty much an album dedicated to personal feelings about family and, relationships and, things like that. So
shout out to Fieldwork.
I was about to, that's perfect. Cause that is a track that I did listen to. There's some questions that I had regarding that because I like the track a lot. I really think it's a really dope track. What I wrote down in my production notes is that it has a great feel of like the classic hip hop, that thought provoking. And there's a Absol line that came to my mind. I think this Absol line is from Rhapsody's Crown album on 2 a.m. But somebody fact check me. Anyways, that hip hop is for intelligence and hop is for the movement. Or hip is for the intelligence and hop is for the movement. And that's the kind of like feeling that I got from listening to that album of that you're understanding the broad aspect of what work really means.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it has so many meanings and so many ideas that are associated with it.
Absolutely.
The one factor in it all is basically you have to do it.
You have no choice.
Yeah, and that's what I took from it, and that's why like that thought provoking feeling is to me what classic hip hop is about. What that feeling of no, don't just have me dancing, give me to think too.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, that was the goal, you know what I'm saying? And like we talked about, what sparks inspiration. It was probably a day after work where I was like, man, this sucks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, it'd be nice. I mean, people could lie about or maybe people do live a trifling life where they just get up and they like eat Flaming Hots and sell crack and smoke weed and that's just life.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm like, wow, that's incredible because I know our days start early and we get up and get to the grind because we in the real world you have to pay bills and take care of your family. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's really what that was about. So I appreciate you getting that from that.
Yes, I appreciate that. The other thing that I did want to add in relation to that song was the ad-libs. I felt really helped that mentality, or not the mentality, but the perspective of slave work or field work.
Yeah,
I just felt like that accentuated that feeling even more. So there's things that in tracks that help a track and hurt a track and that it can go unnoticed.
Right.
But to me, that was something that I did actively notice and was like, okay, yeah, this adds to that vibe, that adds to that feel.
That's dope. That is dope. There's an undertone of consumerism. I'm trying to let them know, we're all really slaves at the end of the day. And we're all in the field. It's about the work that we put in. And, but you gotta be conscious of it too. And pay attention to what's really going on around you. Like it's a rat race for real. There's literal mazes in the streets. You know what I'm saying? So kind of look at the big picture of things. So that was the goal. Like I said, it was a nice track and it gave that perspective. Thank you.
I do want to segue into the new album. single that I heard was
Good to Go.
Good to Go. That track to me, Dion, man, he brings some
Shout out Dion
smooth
Jenkins.
soulfulness,
Yeah, man.
soulfulness to that project. I liked the beginning in the fact that it had like a cinematic feel
Yeah.
Word.
approaching the lyrics. Like you already felt like, okay, something's coming. Something's coming. I'm not sure what it is yet, but I'm ready for it. And just like that feel. And then when the first verse hits, it's like, okay, I'm ready. I'm in now. I'm in my seat. The movie started. We ready to go.
Word.
And then, like I said, Dion's soulfulness also, like, it kind of, for me, it detached me away from the song enough to feel it more than just hearing the words and feeling the beat, but like detach and just go, okay, there is the soulfulness is carrying through. I also liked the fast pace of the rhyming in that structure. Is that something, because there's other Cincinnati rappers that also have a faster pace. Do you think that's something as a result of where you're from, or that's just, you felt that fit the beat for you? Or
Nah, I think this goes back to what Kyle was saying, just styling, just, whatever. Like, for instance, our cadences are similar tempo, but completely different.
yeah, exactly.
You
And
know
that's
what I mean?
another thing that I picked up
But
too.
it all comes down to just a matter of what pocket. It's like the museum we were talking about earlier. We may go and look at a piece and get completely different views about it. We may both dig it completely, but from a completely different version of it.
Or
You know what
from
I mean?
different reasons why you
Word.
like it. Yeah.
So that's kind of what happens with me personally. I've always loved that about music, how all three of us could sit down and listen to something and get a completely different pocket. You know what I mean? In his head, the cadence is this. In my head, it's over here.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So it just worked out like that.
And
Yeah, I mean, it's just what it was, man. I mean, I think maybe it may be a style that's kin to Cincinnati, so to speak, for lack of a better term. Maybe it's just we like that rapid fire, but it's that mixture of the South, I guess. I don't know, man.
I mean, other people do the same, do that cadence too. I just,
Yeah.
the fact that you both are from Cincinnati, just, that's the thought that came to my mind when I first heard it. And that's another thing that I wanted to say about your music that I took from it. I don't, and some might take this as in a negative light, but I don't mean it in that right. But to me, your songs don't have a region to it. When I hear it, I don't hear a region. I hear, like, I just hear hip hop.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But some people, I don't. It's like,
And not that we're not trying to rep Cincinnati to the fullest.
yeah,
It's always that.
that's what I don't mean it by that. I just mean it's just more.
Yeah, it's just
universal.
music, man. We're just trying to make music to the fullest.
It was ironic to me when we finished like this album. We don't have any song about Silverton. We have very few Silverton references,
Word.
but I think that kind of is a statement in and of itself. It's like
I thought about that
we
too.
are Silverton. We're busy working, man. Like, are you serious? Like, I don't think people from other cities necessarily. And you hear it a lot from Brooklyn artists and regional artists where they will definitely rep their home, and I appreciate that. We rep the home by putting it on the front of the album,
Right.
But I don't have to sit here and tell you about Sampson Lane or Montgomery Road. Like, you don't care. Nobody really wants to hear about that.
You're going to hear about it, just not
Yeah,
right
you
then.
you got to see it first, I guess.
Yeah. We want to introduce ourselves, then we'll take you on the stroll through the neighborhood next time.
Gotcha. With Good to Go, when you planned that track, do you feel like you executed to the extent that you wanted to? Was that the direction that you were initially going in and it kind of turned, or it came out like you wanted it to come out?
Me, in my mind, it came out pretty close to what we were shooting for. It's just something to groove to and rock out to, spill a little something, let Dion bless you in the middle. You know what I mean? And then, and when Prospect first presented the track to us, it was so different than everything else he had brought to it. You know what I mean?
And it hits people differently too.
Yeah.
So it's all a matter of who's listening to it and how they interpret it. And as far as I'm concerned, it turned out great. Some people, they may like it, some people don't, but that's the beauty of music.
Yeah.
It's up to the interpretation of the listener, which is cool with me. You know?
definitely.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of stuff too, and I some stuff I like, some stuff I don't. So
That's true.
it's all good. I'm good.
I
with
know I've definitely learned from the production side. Like, I'll make a beat, like say somebody want to come through and check some tracks out, and I'll make 5 beats for them. And I'm like, I'm gonna just progressively hit him harder and harder. Like, by the time we get to 5, he's gonna be like, yo, you know what I mean? And then I'll be like, so which one you like? He's like, number 2. I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
it. Like, not that one.
Word. So I mean, we all hear things differently.
Yeah, definitely. Touching on this album, actually, I want to go back a little bit because I want to get to know you guys a little bit more and let the viewers and listeners get to know you guys more on a personal level.
Word.
what were some of the production influences just throughout your career and just throughout your life that I wouldn't say like, it doesn't have to necessarily be your favorite. To me, there's favorite and then there's ones that like really just, they might not be the best, but it hits you and it resonates with you harder. What were the ones that resonate with you that was like, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is why I need to keep doing this. You know what I'm saying? Those moments.
I mean, for me personally, I would say definitely my first, big influence, Fat John. He was a producer of my crew. I think he is really dope. He goes by a few names. Maurice Galactica. He's got many aliases, but dude is dope. And of course, Q-Tip. Always anything tribe related.
Slept on.
Primo and Pete Rock and Diamond D. I can't forget Diamond D or Showbiz and AG.
Digging in the crates.
Yeah, that whole. I mean, I just wanted in. Like whatever it was, I was like, yo, I want to be a part of that because that is what it's about. Like these guys are the illest. Period.
Hey, shout out to that Pete Rock and Smoke DZA album. That.
Oh man, dude.
Man, I just had because I've been having that on repeat.
It's fire.
Ruthless.
On the more modern tip, the more recent cats, of course, Dilla. And I don't even know if Dilla classifies as recent, but he still
Dilla
resonates.
Will always
but he still resonates.
Dilla
so it's
will
like,
always be recent.
Word. Dilla, drugs, that dude.
Absolutely.
That dude. Oh, Knots. Shout out Knots. Yeah. Like, have you ever watched, what's that, Rhythm Roulette?
Yeah.
Like, most people go in there and make 2 or 3 beats. Like, Knots made like 9 joints.
Yeah.
Like, what did you do?
When I saw that when I was like this, I was like, because like when I saw, to digress a little bit, yo, when I saw Rhythm Roulette, because I saw the one with Ninth Wonder first, and that was dope too. And then like with other ones, I'd be like, man, I feel like they miss it. Like they playing the tracks and they're like, no. I'm like, oh, I heard some. And then with him, everyone I heard, he heard too. He was like, oh, no.
Some.
Yeah, and some that I was like, bro, I don't know how you gonna flip. Oh, you flipped
like
it.
there's a track that he chopped playing while he's still chopping another one. Like this
that
dude,
man, the way his mind works, man,
it's crazy.
Yeah, that's
I know it's guys on the home front, man. Shout out Scholar Akbar. Shout out CJ the Cynic.
Illuminati.
Ilpo, Illuminati. Beataholic. Mo
Primo
Beats.
Hio.
Word. J Skills.
Of course, High Tech.
Cat Town. Young L.I.
Creed. Mr. Dibbs.
Yo, yeah, we can go all day.
RX Dub. Plenty of cats, man. With dope beats that are really nice.
Yes, sir.
I want to piggyback off that question and ask you the same question now for lyricists though, and they can be old, new, whatever. Just
for most slept on, definitely Black Thought in my opinion.
Ooh,
that dude is
a monster, a beast.
Look, for those of you who don't know, it's not even like it's so crazy. Like this, so subtle and non-directed, but. Doing I think it was last year's Roots Picnic, they were doing a little promo for it. And Quest is just calling out the names of the people performing. And Thought is literally freestyling 4 to 6 bars either about their music or how they met. Like just off top. And nailing every one of them. And it's like, the Roots Picnic is a large cat. Dude, there's like 5 minutes of this. I was like, this dude is a monster.
To me, he's the most underrated lyricist that I can think of.
Yeah.
I mean, what's crazy is people know, but they know, like whenever we say, well, who's your top 5? No one says Thought. I'm like, how are you not saying this dude's name?
Yeah, for me, it'd be Thought and Andre 3000 that are under.
3 Stacks.
You think 3 Stacks is underrated?
No. He's talking about
you saying just in general?
On that 5.
I meant the underrated joint. I'm like, I mean.
No, maybe before.
No, not now.
But yeah,
some monsters.
And I will say even now to a certain extent for the young cats.
Yeah, just because they haven't been putting out the word like that.
But
I
can't find a bad 3 Stacks or Thought verse.
Right.
And if you can't find one, then you can't.
It doesn't exist.
I'm telling you, man. Killer Mike is definitely one of them. Yeah, one of those guys.
Like what Kendrick said, if y'all talk about that conscious rap, Killer Mike would be platinum.
Yeah, right. I mean, dude is he's so intelligent, man. And plus he's just got this aggressive approach on the mic.
Kill Mike.
Yeah.
J Electronica, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of wordsmiths out here, man. So many cats.
Elzai, Royce the Five.
I think Elzai's underrated too. Like,
super.
Yeah, he is. He's definitely underrated.
Because when I bring his name up in some hip hop circles, they go,
right.
Yep, and I'm like
what?
They don't understand.
You know what you're talking about?
All I play is that verse for how to rap. That's all I play for them.
That's all you need.
Like, tell me better.
So, but yeah, those are some of the ones for me too as well. So it's just interesting that we're all kind of like on that same that vibe,
Right.
and that, like I said on many podcasts before, creativity creates more creativity. So that's why I like surrounding myself with people that are creative, because you feed off that energy, you feed off that vibe,
For sure.
and it allows you to be more creative and think outside the box and think about things in a different light than you wouldn't. Even if you disagree on a topic, even if I say my top 5 is this, your top 5 is this, and they're
Right.
completely different, and I can't see how you came up with your top 5 and you can't see how I came up with mine, that doesn't mean that your point is less valid than mine or mine is less valid than yours.
Right.
As well as your argument for your top 5 might make me rethink your top 5.
Exactly.
It still might not put them on my 5, but
might
they,
learn
instead
something.
of being, let's say, in my top 15, they moved up to now top 10.
Right.
Because I learned a track that I didn't know about that really showcased, like you said with Elzad, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just that the conversation I think are important to have.
But unfortunately, we live in a time where you're not allowed to disagree with what is considered the norm or whatever.
Yeah.
It's kind of my job. I've been chopping up with about hip hop. He just started working there, and the influences that led you to where you're at, like life, what music you were exposed to coming up before you got to this point, all that influences what you think your top 5 are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, it's not like we all came in the exact same vein and got to the same point with the same path, and we all got here our own way.
Exactly.
And I think it speaks to the culture of people too, because everybody wants to put everything in a certain
So, right.
categorical state. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
the
you got to
box.
say, what are your top 5?
And it has to be a universal top 5.
exactly. And
Right.
you like put blinders on the fact that, like we talked about, with the inspiration. I mean, those cats, when they made the music that they made, it was about that moment in time, that period. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it came out really fresh, really dope,
Yeah.
and the world loved it. And people were like, yeah, but it's not as good as that moment in time when Eminem did it. I'm like, man, come on, man. Get off of it.
Right.
It's not that serious.
And like you,
Also,
go ahead.
also, really quickly, opinions are not facts.
Yes.
They're opinions.
Thank you.
True.
Nowadays, people feel their opinion
Mixed
is
the
a
two.
fact.
Yeah, facts are becoming lost and
Becoming
the
alternative,
meaning,
son.
the meaning
Alternative.
of what a
Yeah.
fact is. A fact is a fact. There is no alternative fact. There is no. A fact is a fact. The sky is blue.
Dude.
It's blue. That
Thank
there
you.
is no other.
Thank you.
Right.
And like the fact that I'm even having this conversation with
Is
you,
that's sad that we
that
have
lets
to
me know what I'm dealing with to begin with. Right.
exactly,
So
and
ridiculous.
that's sad that we're at this point. But all we can do is
Keep it moving.
keep it moving and trying to do our best to keep people thinking.
True.
And to keep thinking ourselves and self-analyzing. With that said, I want to self-analyze your new record,
Okay.
Okay.
the new record, and I do want to ask. Let me actually give out the name of the new record that will be coming out shortly, soon. It's called "Or Forever Hold Your Peace."
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
That title alone says a lot. Well, let me rephrase that. That title can say a lot depending on your interpretation or the way you internalize it.
Right.
So let me ask you, what does that title mean to you?
The birth of it came from the traditional use of it,
Mm-hmm.
weddings. If you have something to say about this union that's about to take place, stand up and let it be known, or shut up, sit down.
Right.
We're about to get this jumping.
Right.
Yeah.
For real.
It's kind of where, the birth of it. But, in discussion, it led so many other places. You know what I mean? It was talking with some friends. I had some friends of different cultures and nationalities and whatnot. And we were looking at the interpretations of it, like the translation of it. And one of the direct translations is speak now or remain silent. And I was like, word, that's dope.
Yeah,
But
that has a different connotation than
right.
how we normally take it.
Yeah, of course.
Right. And then like my man Kyle put it in the most layman term as possible, like, shit or get off the pot.
And I mean, it was more a title as a message to ourselves. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
definitely
being,
that too.
Being in the frame of mind, like, okay, man, you've been doing this a long time. So the fact that you have an opportunity to work together and, you got my man Prospect Production, I'm like,
It was
the
a lot of
beats are
things that
crazy.
came together.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we was like, yo, we gotta make this crack.
and we thought about, the wedding theme because, that's something I'll be getting married soon. And,
Oh, congratulations, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm already wedded up. So
Congratulations as well to you, bro.
appreciate it.
So that, and then also hold a peace, like Second Amendment cat.
Mm-hmm.
So that, like, there was so
there's a
many,
lot going on with that.
analogies and things going on with that title, man. So it seemed appropriate.
Okay. Did you come up with the title prior to making the album, or is that you started making tracks
it
and
was
just
in the middle of it.
You just
like
and this is
like
like
near the end of
Yeah,
it.
You're
like
like,
between
okay,
the 8th and
this
the
is
9th
where-
joint.
Yeah.
We're like, yo.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Not necessarily in the playlist order.
Yeah, but just
but-
in the production of making
like
the
about
album.
9 or 10 joints in, we was like, man, we need to come up with a title for this.
Gotcha. And is there any tracks on the album that you wish were on there that aren't on there, or some tracks that, or you wish you had some more time to play with some of the tracks that are on there?
Definitely play with. Definitely
Yeah.
play with. It's some post production type stuff.
Well,
you know what I mean?
we
We're
had a
gonna get into
flood.
it.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Yo,
Well, the flood was the direct result of a tornado.
Dang.
Yeah, like a piece of the studio. There was a piece of first off,
shout out
the
to New
studio.
Fidelity Sounds.
Yeah, shout out Fidelity, dope spot.
That's what's up.
It's based in like the roof loft of a contractor's warehouse,
Okay.
and so the roof itself was damaged in a tornado, and there was rain, and so it didn't necessarily. Well, it did flood in a manner of speaking, but it was more how the water soaked into the walls and whatnot. And so, thankfully, the equipment was spared.
That
But
worked out.
a lot of the soundproofing and the drywall and the floors and stuff were destroyed. So they had to just basically tear all that down, all the way down to the studs. So when that happened, that kind of put the ganache on working things out.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of things we didn't get a chance to necessarily. I mean, we
had some
did our
hardware
thing with it, you know.
We had some
and,
hardware issues with the computer. I forgot about
wow.
that.
We had some battles back and forth. Some battles internally because
yeah. But that's what makes
it got to the
that's what
point
makes it
like
work.
it's beats, rhymes, and cuts. Like it's hip hop. You know, at some point, you know, analysis paralysis creeps in. I think, and
Yeah.
you can continually overthink things to the point that it never happens.
And that's why I asked the question, is because I know, like I say, with most things in life, it's about balance.
Right.
When it's settled down to it, there's no. Everybody wants to make it black and white, but it's really about balance. It's somewhere in between some gray area.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
that balance of, you know, wanting to put out the best product versus wanting to, you know, make sure it gets out to the people. Cause
Right.
Right.
cause like I say it on my podcast all the time. Like if it was up to me, shoot, I'd be editing these podcasts all day,
Forever.
every day
Right.
and never get released.
True.
But I know
Right.
there's a point where I have to go, hey, this is the best it's gonna get.
This is what it
You
is.
gotta go for yours,
we
man.
gotta put it out. We have to put it out.
I literally just had this conversation with some cats too. So a drummer friend of mine, he posted on Facebook. He's like, when do you stop? Like, when do you stop messing with it and let it go? And how do you get to that point where you understand that? And I told him, it's just a growth process, man. Trial and error, living and learning. That's the only way. Cause like you said, that analysis paralysis creeps in on a regular basis.
Yeah.
I just think everything has its place too. You know, there's a reason why you made it, and obviously, you know, you made it with a purpose. So yeah, let it be. You know what I'm saying? So you don't. On the flip side of this, it's like so many people, they have all this investment in their recordings. You know, they got $1 million studio sessions, and they turn out trash. And it's like you got all the money and influence in the world, but you don't represent.
effort,
You don't shine at all. What I hear you so.
Exactly. Yeah, you have all the resources available to you, and you still aren't taking full advantage of it
This is what we
to
get.
give us a great product or even a good product.
Right.
What would you say is your favorite track off the album and why?
Yo. What about you, bro?
'Cause
I don't know. I'm trying to narrow it. There's two that's standing out to me. I'm trying to pick one of those.
I really like the title track. I really like "Or
like
Forever
the
Hold Your
title
Peace," and it's not even a track that we perform at the show.
First off, the project itself, I'm very happy with.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's good, because there are projects that people will put out that they're not happy with, but
no.
again, you have to.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta
come
do.
on,
Yeah,
man.
There's stuff you got to put out, but
definitely happy with the.
if
project
you're not
as a
happy
whole.
with it, how would you expect anybody else?
Somebody
You
else
know
to
what I'm
do.
saying?
But that may go back to the over analysis thing.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
true.
They may be happy with the music, but not happy with certain aspects of it.
Exactly.
Whatever. My two that I'm struggling with to figure out which one is which is one that we do perform, which is You Know Them As. I love that joint. I love the energy of it. I love the way we rock off each other. And then either You Don't Want It.
I like that title already, though.
Either You Don't Want It or the bonus cut that's on there, because it's so different. Yeah, it's a bonus cut. It's so different, man. Like there's no beat.
Already is
Yeah.
pretty dope too. So
Already is dope. Yeah.
I'm
Shout out
gonna have
PodCon.
pretty much just giving you the entire track listing. I think you just wanted one track. I don't know. I'm thinking possibly maybe already.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to PodCon, man. It's just got a different vibe. It's soulful, you know what I mean? Just because of the influences on the track. So
Right.
yeah, that's one of my favorites. I think that's probably number one.
Is there, besides the theme or the idea that's behind the title, is there a specific theme that you were shooting for because like you said, the title can give you so many avenues and aspects or streams to go on based on just that idea. But is there a main theme that you wanted to touch on that, or outside of that?
Not really not really a main theme. I think it was more like he was saying, it was more an announcement to ourselves as far as the title of the album and the theme behind it. Like, go ahead and rock and, let it breathe.
And let it do what it does.
Let it do what it does. And at the same time, I think that gave us the freedom on the songs and not necessarily be like, okay, we have to make sure we stay talking about this. Like, it was like whatever the feeling was that night, that's what we rock.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's just hip hop. It's simple.
Yeah.
I mean, and I tried not to deviate from that, man, and just keep in mind, man, it comes down to beats, rhymes, and scratches if you choose. It's really simple. It's a formula, but you execute through, flow and patterns and styles and just like I said, not try and make it too contrived.
Gotcha. Good. And I just wanted to touch on that. And the reason why I asked that is because there are artists and there's listeners that think that, it has to be of one or two sets. It has to be a very theme-based, controlled album, or it has to be a mix of just whatever you're feeling. And what I'm saying is either it's about that balance again. You don't have to have both. Or, I mean, you can have both, which is great. Kendrick was a very concept album, and now it's an amazing album.
Right,
and then
right.
you have, Nas that is not a concept album, but
right,
it's
dope.
but it's still dope. You know what I'm saying? So you can have those juxtapositions, and I'm saying every style has a need. So I'm not saying it needs that, but just the idea that you had the freedom to say what you wanted to say in the space that you had to say. I think also that adds to a different energy that is needed, and that is a core of hip hop. That just that spontaneity.
Like, we don't know, like, Kendrick may have needed that themed project to focus the thoughts he had to stream everything the way he wanted. You know what I mean? We don't know where that came from.
Exactly.
But it ended up beautiful.
Yeah.
But we don't know where it came
Exactly.
from. You know what I mean?
So, and that, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I think if there is a theme to the album, quite honestly, it's probably being in the studio. Like, the theme of the album is the experiences
the song
that
Dark
happen
Room
inside
is definitely
the studio, basically.
Like,
and
the lighting in your hallway is slightly brighter. Real talk. It was a very, and it wasn't like on no dank stuff. Just the walls were painted black. The very dark painted walls.
Man,
Yeah.
It was a couple of small lamps in there, and it's mainly the brightest light in the room was the screen on the computer.
Okay, but it got you into the zone that you needed to get
cool.
to
Yeah,
make that
it
album.
just was
yeah.
what it was. You know, shout out Bella.
no doubt. Chris Medine,
Chris
C-Pen,
C-Pen. All people contributed greatly through Spirit, Energy, L-Born.
Man, Jake.
When you guys are performing, because I know that's a big part of your, the job.
Part. That's the fun part.
the fun part of the job is what gives you the energy to keep, to do the performances.
The people, quite honestly, like, and I guess
The love, the vibe.
I guess a microcosm of that is the tour we just did, the show we did in Truckee. Like, everything possible to go wrong with that show is how the evening started. Literally, like, the spot we walked in, like, as soon as we walked in, it's a shotgun bar, and the bar faces the wall, and it's literally, like, from that wall to where you're sitting at, which is, like, maybe, 10, 12 feet tops. You know what I mean? So, it was a tight fit.
Chucky was cool.
Just the walk-in. The walk-in was like, oh, man.
Actually, it was really
the stage
dope.
was facing a weird way. It was a weird setup. It was looking like we was going to have issues with the sound.
Typical shows,
double booked.
Shit that happens at shows.
Like, everything was like, oh no. And then
It happens in Cincinnati all the time.
But as the night progressed, man, it just got better and better. Like the band that was double booked with us ended up, they were locals. They knew the sound system great. It was like, oh no, we'll just do this. So they hooked the sound up beautifully.
Yeah.
The whole time this is all happening, like the crowd is steadily building in the spot. And then my man Stylitics is like making beats live on the spot off his machine. So people are rocking to that and like the energy's building. So they're not just sitting there looking at us.
It was
and
a
then
party
by the time
vibe.
we got the rocking,
Yeah.
by the time we got the rocking, it almost blew the roof off the spot, man. It was dope.
It was fun.
Oh, that's what's up, man.
That's a great time.
I was like, dude, this is amazing. But the energy that those people gave us
Is
made the show that much better. It made the show fun. It made it like there was no tiredness. It was just let's get it.
Yeah. Shout out to the snowboarders and the gold miners.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to
Sons of
Truckee.
Anarchy.
That's what's up.
It was dope.
Do you guys plan on doing a tour for this album?
Yes.
Yes, definitely. We're actually in the works of putting that all together now.
And let me shout out that title one more time. Or Forever Hold Your Peace.
Or Forever Hold Your Peace.
So
sir.
if you haven't heard it when it comes out, definitely pick it up.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up,
download
pick it up.
listen, subscribe, like, all that good stuff.
Yes, sir.
Please check out the website, www.sonsofsilverton.com. And definitely be looking for the album. We'll be out very soon. We have CDs, obviously, you can cop from the website. So
Yeah, we gotta get our t-shirt presence strong on the website, but definitely we got shirts for you.
Gotcha. I'm gonna definitely have all the links to the website to when the album drops. I have a link so that they can get it through the website as well as or the link to your website to get it.
Word.
As well as the merchandise, the shirts. So I saw the stickers. Hey, them was fly. I saw them. I do want to say I definitely want to thank you guys for coming and rocking with us and giving us this information. And I feel like bringing us into your world of that part of hip hop because, like I said, we don't live in that world.
Right. Yeah.
We love the music, so I like to get into that world as much as we can. And I feel like you brought us into that world and helped us understand your creative process and how you get there and what inspires you. And hopefully that inspires others out there to do the same and go for your dreams. But at the end of the day, it's about putting in that work.
absolutely, man.
So they didn't just, start making these albums and making these tracks. They be putting in work. Like he said, when he has the time, he's writing down them lines, writing down them lyrics. Like, so that's what you got to do. Like,
It's all about the effort, man.
yeah, putting in the effort, that
You get in
dedication,
what
that
you get out.
consistency.
That's life.
If you playing a video game or playing on your phone and you rhyme, you claim to be an MC, get to writing. That's all it is.
It's like you said, it's at the end of the day, it's simple. We make it more complicated than it has to be. Like, yeah, their wordplay is it's exceptional, but they put in the work to get it that way.
Right.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
they
It's just
didn't-
like it's anybody in any professional aspect, man. Like those skills didn't just happen. Like I hate when I hear commentators like, "Oh, he's such a blessed athlete." Like, nah, dude, he put in work.
exactly, yeah.
That dude in the gym grinding, doing stuff like, other cats who aren't on that level aren't willing to do.
Exactly. Like I had this conversation with people all the time. Is like they'll see, like you said, athletes, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, no. I know athletes that are in the league, and I'm telling you, I was with them in high school. While we was going to the parties, they was like, nah,
it was practice.
I'm going
Exactly.
to, I'm going
Focus.
to, I got to get in this playbook.
Yep.
Nah, I gotta go practice in the morning. So I got to get my sleep because I got to go do this workout. So they put that dedication and that time in. Yes. Do they have born talents? Yes.
Yeah,
But
they
you have to
inclinations
capitalize
physically,
on
to
those
let 'em-
talents. Yeah.
definitely.
But you got to capitalize on those
Word.
talents.
You
Just
got,
like,
you got to polish it.
yeah.
But they
so-
say hard work and effort beats talent every day.
Exactly.
It was that Kevin Durant.
it's-
Yeah, man.
yeah.
So-
Hard.
That's true.
I do want to commend you guys on it because, like I said, when I listen to the music, I hear the talent. You know what I'm saying? I hear
Thank
that
you.
you put in the
Thank
work,
you.
and I do hear the love and the energy. And to me, that's what drives me and resonates with me the most is
Absolutely.
the energy that you feel. And
That's what it's about, man.
because, like you said, we all have different life experiences, but something that you say in a line, like I said, in a field work as well as Good to Go, like there's lines in there that's like, that it was going to resonate with me, and you might not have intended it to resonate in that way, but my life experience brought me to that point. Your
Word.
life experience brought us to that point, and that line connected us all together.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly. That's so
music is music, and we got to share
Yes.
it and spread
Yes.
it. Especially music that has good messages as well as, yo, this.
spread love and consciousness.
Like I
man.
said, I just heard snippets of the album. I heard a couple of tracks, and the tracks I heard, the production was crazy, man. It's deep, and then the lyrics match it. So, and I do like the energy of you guys bouncing off each other. And that's another thing that I wrote on my notes of preparing for this podcast is, again, I don't like comparing, but I do like that that back and forth that you guys do have on certain tracks, as well as just it feels like you can feel the energy of you feeding off each other's lines.
Yeah. Smooth Fasa on the mic. I'm Kyle David Koresh.
Kyle
Just
David
let it be
Koresh.
known.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So is there anything else you guys wanted to say? You wanted to shout out to let people know?
Yo, man, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity coming
Most
up, and
definitely. Stay
please, stay woke. That's what it is, man.
Yes,
That's
sir.
stay conscious. Pray for the immigrants, work hard for the people, man. Do the right thing by your family. Character is what you do behind, in
Character's
secret
what you do
behind
when
closed
nobody's
doors
looking.
when nobody's looking. So
Yes, sir.
keep that in mind. There's principles of life, so just do that and stay focused, man, and keep listening to hip hop.
The Sons of Silverton all across the social media board, man. Like, just type in Sons of Silverton. We'll get at you.
Yeah, man. Check out. I definitely know that they're active on social media, so keep checking out for them. You can check out for their personal pages. Again, I'll have all that information on the website as well as on the description of the podcast itself. If you don't know, now you know.
Yes,
The Sons
sir.
of Silverton.
Stay woke.
Stay woke. We out.
Peace.
Peace.